When need rode him hard and his anger was on a hair trigger, no, it wasn't fair. More than that, it was dangerous in his current mood. Mason had superior strength, speed, and wits. Anders was a good sentry, but he stood absolutely no chance of winning. Fuck his chance of learning anything. Yet Mason couldn't force himself to stand down. Anders lunged and then scurried back. Mason didn't even blink, much less flinch. He'd seen Anders' intent in his eyes a split second before the other wolf tried the bit of misdirection. Mason had seen too much in his life to be fooled by such an obvious feint. Still, his heart pumped fast and hard, and his wolf growled to be set free. They were both ready for a fight, for a win, even one as lopsided as this battle would be. "Mason!" Gavin called out to him. "Knock it off already!" Mason's gaze shot to his brother, eyes narrowed in warning. Anders took advantage of that hint of distraction. Obviously, Anders had thought his alpha was distracted, that maybe he'd gain the upper hand. He was wrong. Anders leapt forward, his right arm cocked back and left lowered a hint too much. Leaving himself open, it was easy for Mason to jab the wolf in the nose. The crack of bone signaling he'd broken his sentry's nose. The wolf shook his head, sending blood to splatter on the dirt as he tried to clear his head after the painful punch. Mason hadn't even put much effort into the strike. "And that's enough." Cade strode forward until he stood between the men. Mason's wolf bristled, furious at his brother for stepping between him and his prey. He caught his brother's eye and snarled his displeasure. "Get back and stay back." His gums throbbed, wolf fighting to push his fangs free. "Don't make me tell you again." Mason ignored his brother's frown. He also ignored the expressions of the other sentries. They'd never seen their alpha so uncontrolled, so on edge. But he couldn't stop himself. Besides, everyone needed to blow off steam occasionally. "Get up," he snapped at Anders. "You're fine." Anders sprang to his feet, still wiping the torrent of blood from his nose. The wolf wavered in place, a bit less steady than before, but fight still lingered in his hungry stare. Anders bounced from foot to foot, moving sideways as he and Mason circled each other. Every few seconds, one would push forward and throw a jab, the other avoiding it easily. "Good," Mason grunted, though he was anything but happy about his opponent's ability to evade him. "You're quick on your feet, but you can't bounce around like a bunny all day." "Maybe you can't." Anders gave Mason a cocky wink. "It's easy when you're young." If Anders had said that to anyone else, Mason would have laughed. Trash talk was expected while sparring. Hell, it was encouraged. Except this hit Mason in a sensitive spot. 34 wasn't old by anyone's standards, unless the person was an unmated werewolf alpha. He peeled his upper lip back in a fierce snarl as he glared at Anders. His blood burned hot. Too hot. Fury burned in his gut, and he'd never wanted anything more than to punch the mouthy little shit across the clearing. With a growl, Mason swung his arm wide and saw his fuck-up in an instant. He'd let Anders get under his skin, damn it. The sentry recognized the opening and took his shot. Right into Mason's kidney. Mason spun away from Anders and pretended the blow hadn't hurt, even though his back burned like a raging fire. "Lucky shot." Anders grinned, blood staining his teeth pink. "Depends on who you ask." Anders executed a roundhouse kick, probably hoping to capitalize on his last hit, but Mason was back in the game. He grabbed the man's ankle and gave him a hard shove so that Anders landed on his ass, almost in the same spot as before. "Who you want to ask?" Mason tried to smile.